Look at that nose. Look how perfect it fits on my car. But that's not the point of this video. Let me turn this down. I just put the first layer of filler. I used my cheapy body filler because I had some left from Bondo, which is crappy filler, but it actually is okay for filling large holes and stuff. It's not bad for that, and that's what I needed it for. So next layer will be 3M Platinum Plus on top of this crappy filler. As you could see, I don't know if you could tell on the video, but I mean, from my experience, body filler from Bondo is not as smooth, but it does the job for filling. And this is just the first coat. It's kind of sloppy, but as you can see, it's getting there. Next coat will be the 3M Platinum Plus, which is a top end filler, body filler, and that'll be what's going to smooth it out real nice and level. And so I'll get that done right now. Let's see the front side, and you won't even know from here. It'll look just like the stock dash. I mean, not the stock dash, but the original dash, and you won't even be able to tell that I added anything under it. Alright, just put on the second coat all the way around, and this time I use 3M Platinum Plus, which is a higher grade filler, and this will get all the waviness out. Probably going to have to add one more layer on top of this because it's probably going to be a little wavy. You can already see it kind of waving in a few spots. So block it out one more time, and then any low spots you got to fill it in one more time. That's what I got to do. It does take time to do this, and sometimes you got to put 3 coats, sometimes 4 or 5 coats of filler before you got it perfectly straight. Even though you're not going to see it, it'll be under the dash. I still want a straight part. But it's coming out looking real good. Alright, just sanded down the filler, blocked it. Use a couple different styles of block to do it. I got a low spot right here, so I got to put more filler here. And every time you see a dark spot in the filler, where it looks darker, that means it's a low spot. So I got a few spots here. I got a low spot right here. A bunch of low spots here. I got a low spot right here. Right here. But this is getting to the really small low spots. So all this is not going to take that much filler. You know, it's just going to be a real skim coat that you put over these little spots, and then sand them down one more time, and you should be good. So that'll be the that'll be the third or fourth layer, because I think I put an extra layer on this one. So yeah, like I said, it takes 3 or 4 layers to get everything smooth. So I'll do that right now. Put another little bit of filler on there and see how it looks after I sand it. Alright, got this thing sanded down. Got 3 layers of filler on here. I'm gonna have to go 4 right here because there's still a low spot right here. And yeah, it's gonna need a lot of filler right here to get this flat and straight. A couple little spots that I marked, just little imperfections here and there, but it's pretty much there. Now what I gotta do is put it in the car and make sure these fit, because I'm probably gonna have to trim some off. So I'm gonna do that now and see how it looks. One more shot from the front. As you can see, you don't see the work that I did. It's all hidden underneath. So you're gonna have the look of the original still, just with the bottom belly to it. Passenger's gonna be able to sit in the seat and not see a big old wires hanging out, and you're not gonna be able to look under there and see your TV components and wiring, and it'll help hide it. And that's pretty much what I wanted, just to give it a little more of a stock look. Because without this, it just you could it's plain as day that it's an aftermarket dash. This will help with that. Alright, I'm test fitting the dash. If you take a look, I'm having to cut some of this because it's hitting the hair. But if you look under here, you can see that the lip is perfectly lined up there. Still use the turn signal, but it might be hitting later. I might have to trim some of that. You still have access to the AC vent. When you look over here, you can see the little shelf there up under here, and you actually have something for the lower console to sit on now. Before you didn't. And look over here. So if you're sitting over here, it's kind of hard to see now. See that? You can kind of see the radio a little bit, but it makes it a lot harder to see the TV wires and all that hanging out. So it's a concealment thing. That's good. You still have access to the AC vent. I didn't go too far back because I wanted to still have access to this pocket back here. And if you put a computer back here or something, you want to have access to that as well. But at least when you're sitting here, you know, you'll have a little bit of a fiberglass hanging down in there that'll keep it looking nice. And for anybody looking in the car, they'll see the underbelly there instead of inside the dash. I gotta trim this up now on this side a little bit more. Alright, now I'm sitting in the passenger seat. Now you can see, this is the view that the people will have when they're sitting in your car, your cool Knight Rider car. And you don't want them to be able to look up in the dash and see everything. So this is just here to help conceal everything. You could still have access to the air vent right here. But yeah, it just, when you open the door, you have a little side piece too. And it's just for a cleaner look. It still looks the same from up top. I'll add some more filler in here, get it more level, but it's coming out good. Again, there's a little shelf under here now, and all the way on the other side as well. Okay, one more look. This is the old dash I used to sell, which is an original 1TV dash. But can you imagine when you're sitting passenger seat, somebody sitting in there, and you got just this sharp lip? Let me show you what I'm talking about. See that sharp lip? It just doesn't look very good. Yeah, you can cut yourself, you can get up in the fiberglass. It's just nasty. So that's another reason why I made that lip in there, because it just looks so much better. This thing looks cheap like this, in my opinion. So even the side, it's not very high up. And here you can see up in your TV wire harnesses and stuff. It just does not look good. Here there's no support for your lower console. Where's lower console supposed to go? It's just a really stupid dash. It's like a half of a dash in my opinion. So I gotta have that completed, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Although it's original, and I'm sure it probably was like that in the show. I mean, this, for a car that you're gonna be driving and showing off, it's just so much better to have this little lip here and kind of conceal it. See, you can't see in there and see where the TV's at. So if you're at a car show, this is so much better, because if people's looking at your car, you don't want them looking up in here and seeing what this dash is. You know, you don't want them to look in there and see, oh, look, there's your dash. It just doesn't look professional. It looks very crappy. Alright, coat number 5 or 6, I lost track, but that's what it takes to get these things smooth. I had a little bit of waviness here, and I'm getting it almost nice and flat. Just gotta sand a little bit more, but yeah, lots and lots of body filler. Alright, after sanding, which seems like forever, I think I got it smooth enough now that I can add some primer. But I still got a couple little nicks here and there, a little hole here I gotta patch up, a couple little weak spots in the glass that I went through. But overall, it's done, and it just took me forever to do. But surprisingly, it only, if you think about it, I only got about 2 days in this. 2 days work. How many hours per day? I don't know. I didn't time myself. I know I got out here around, I think it was around 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock. So let's take a look at what we got here. Well, one thing's we got a big mess, that's for sure. But here we go. There's the dash, as original as can be. This is an original dash. Doesn't even have the speakers up top. You could always cut them in though. And so you can't get any more accurate than this. Now I'm rambling on. I just wanted to show you guys the last video of the night because I'm tired. I'm pooped on this thing, man. But there's the nice. I trimmed it all up real nice and pretty. So can't wait to get this thing finished up. But I'm done for the day. I'll put some primer on it later. I'll go over the whole dash with 220 grit right before primer. And probably going to mess with this voice box before I primer it up. Catch you guys later. One more last video, sorry. This is Mike Peterson's pod unit, and I added an extra mount. Usually I have a mount that goes right here, and I added this extra 2 pieces here that I added myself. So when you mount it, you can put a screw here, 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 and here. So there'll be 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. But the 2 screws still can be kind of wobbly. So I think with the 4, with 2 extra right here, you'll have even more support. You know, keep the pod from wiggling around when it's mounted.